The annual forecast for the zodiac sign Aquarius reveals the news that comes with the new year. In the beginning, we will discuss the facts about the Aquarius sign and how this year will mark your presence and the development of the future. Every person born after January 20th belongs to Aquarius. Therefore, astrology considers the period between January 20th and February 18th to be the Aquarius season. Even in this year, every Aquarius celebrates their birthday during this period. Astrology assigns the air element to Aquarius. The penultimate sign in the order of the zodiac, it shares an element with the other two air signs. Therefore, we recommend not only Aquarius, but also Gemini and Libra to the air signs of the zodiac. Although these zodiac signs have a common element, the predictions for this period are different. Forecast describes an Aquarius who is very original and independent. It is a sign that is different from the rest, because a person born with the sun in Aquarius can sometimes be eccentric, sometimes shy. The negative aspects of this year, described by the Aquarius annual horoscope, will be the strengthening of Aquarius's fear of emotional expressions. Several astrological transits during the year indicate that Aquarius feels a complication in expressing his feelings towards family members, even towards his partner. In several periods of the year, the fourth house is blocked by the movement of retrograde planets or by the influence of more negative astrological aspects. In addition, this year, Aquarius perceives the movement of the planet Venus in a retrograde process, in the 7th astrological house. The planet of love moves through the house of personal relationships, a good marriage, partnership and long-term goals. Even the retrograde movement of Venus will affect the love and long-term relationships of every Aquarius in this year. Looking at the astrological chart, the fortune teller predicts that entering this year will be a harbinger of assessing one's own life. The Sun is located in the 12th house from January 20th, when the Aquarius season begins. Then it moves to the house of the first. This period is necessary for solving any complications in the relationship with oneself. The beginning of the year is therefore carried in the spirit of meditation, assessment of one's own life, in the spirit of renouncing certain things. Aquarius celebrates its birthday in this period, immediately with the arrival of this year. However, not only the Sun enters the first house at the beginning of the year. It also houses Mercury, and in January, the planet Venus. In this regard, the annual forecast perceives the placement of these astrological aspects as a very pleasant and kind environment for the development of every Aquarius. Aquarius is now interested in developing his own relationship with himself, but also in general in improving all relationships. Also from a career point of view, the placement of astrological houses at the beginning of this year is very favorable. The first 3 months seem to be undemanding, full of joyful news, a good period. When Mercury goes retrograde a second time in the 4th astrological house, and later 3 times in the 8th astrological house, your energies can be blocked. Last but not least, during this year, the Aquarius forecast is also focused on assessing Saturn in the 2nd house in retrograde motion. According to astrological charts, Saturn is considered the 2nd Aquarius ruling planet. You achieve the strongest compatibility in love with the 3 signs of the zodiac throughout this year. And not only during the period when the energies of love and long-lasting partner relationships are affected. This period in this year occurs from July to September. At that time, the sector of love and long-term marital relationships or partnerships is the most affected. The greatest compatibility awaits you during the year with the signs Gemini, Leo, and Sagittarius. With the mentioned signs, even the disturbing transit of Venus in retrograde motion, from July 23rd to September 4th, will not be difficult. You can communicate well with each other. Astrological aspects are favorable to relationships with these 3 signs. Not only during the period when the planets focus on the 7th astrological house. Good relationships await you in other months as well. On the contrary, you will feel more disturbing energies in a relationship with the Cancer, Taurus, and Virgo signs. In partner relationships with these signs, the more negative, disruptive astrological aspects of this year can cause arguments, misunderstandings, or even breakups. As for friendly relations, this sector affects this year mainly at the end of this year. You will focus most on friendships in the final months of the year, specifically in the months of November and December. However, you also create good friendships at the beginning of the year. After the Aquarius season ends and the Pisces season begins, that is, from February 18, 2022. Disruptive energies will interrupt your good friendly relationships only from July 23. Then it is necessary to be careful about the 3 zodiac signs that can cause complications in your life. Forecast warns you especially against friendly relationships with the Taurus, Scorpio, and Capricorn signs. With the above 3 signs, avoid gossiping all year round. In addition, these friends can be toxic for your future, warns the horoscope. Good friendships and good advice are brought into your life by the Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Gemini signs. And last but not least, the zodiac sign Aries. With the described signs, you will find support and understanding throughout the year. Career is most affected by your zodiac sign in the second half of this year. At that time, several astrological aspects will focus on acting on the astrological house, which is responsible for work advancement, career success, and long-term goals. The second part of the year is influenced not only by favorable astrological aspects. More demanding moments await you, as well as more complicated interpersonal relationships. Relationships with the Scorpio sign will be the most deteriorated. In general, this sign is not very compatible with you. The relationships between Aquarius and Scorpio will also be challenging in terms of work duties. The relations of Aquarius with the Virgo sign will also be more negative, especially from a professional and personal point of view. If you want to start a business, or to fulfill your long-term goals or desires, you will create the best duo for work with the signs of Libra, Pisces, and the other Aquarius. Working with these 3 signs will be easy for you. Together, you will achieve success in this year. The health chart discusses several astrological aspects throughout the year that will affect your overall health. More about how astrology affects your vitality and energy will be revealed in the final part of this big prediction for this period. However, the health chart tells every Aquarius to get jasmine oil in the home. It is the oil of this year for Aquarius. Yellow, gray, and white are the lucky colors for this year for Aquarius. The air sign of the zodiac perceives these colors as liberating. They symbolize peace, removal of stress, new energy. If you get home accessories in the mentioned colors, it is obvious that the development of this year will be easier. Yellow and white colors also help you overcome stress. Use the strong support of these colors of this year to remove stress from your life during meditation or relaxation. Accessories of the mentioned colors should be part of the office of every Aquarius. In this year, Aquarius is identified with the solar plexus chakra. This chakra is also associated with the color yellow. Aquarius will feel the greatest damage to the chakra with the arrival of the second decade of the year, which seems to be more demanding from astrological aspects than the initial part. The chakra we refer to as the solar plexus is responsible for overall energy. If you belong to an Aquarius who feels exhausted for a long time and there are no known health complications to blame, it is necessary to deal with healing and unblocking the said chakra in this year. As a gift, a healthy chakra will bring you better self-expression, enormous personal strength, and less physical pain. You will learn about how to treat the chakra and what health complications it is responsible for in the final part of the annual prediction. That is why it is essential to know the complete, personal horoscope for this period. In the following lines, we will discuss the most important energies associated with your year. When is the right time to get pregnant? Which days are excellent for getting married? Is fateful love waiting for an unmarried Aquarius? Will your finances be better than in the previous period? We will also answer these questions in the next part, which fortune teller will present through the Aquarius forecast. Negative energies that affect Aquarius this year. The astrological aspects and the overall chart examined by the fortune teller represents several transits that are related to negative developments in the Aquarius life. In order to prevent the complete impact of negative energies on life, it is necessary to prepare for the negativity predicted by the Aquarius forecast for this period. In this regard, we will look at the astrological aspects that can have the greatest negative impact on the Aquarius year. From April 21st to May 15th, retrograde Mercury in the 4th house will manifest itself with great force. Mercury transits the Taurus. For Aquarius, it causes a return to the past. Aquarius now looks back. He feels connected to the past. The memories that now take away your peaceful sleep are connected not only to childhood, but also to the recent past. You remember everything negative that you experienced in the past years. These negative feelings are mainly related to family and childhood. In this context, feelings may appear in your thoughts that can negatively paralyze your body. Retrograde Mercury will remind you what problems your parents caused you with their upbringing, and what regrets remained unspoken in your mind. The aforementioned Mercury retrograde process brings karma to Aquarius, which is related to emotional development. So that you do not repeat the same mistakes in education, it is necessary to close the chapter from childhood through communication. This Mercury is disruptive. It blocks the sense of open communication with others. You tend to resolve personal conflicts only internally. However, after this negative vibration of Mercury subsides, you will be given the opportunity to express yourself. After it has passed, the Sun is placed in the 5th astrological house, where you have the opportunity to identify with the past. Thanks to correctly placed Mercury in direct motion, you can communicate with your family about any personal problem. The secondary ruler of every Aquarius is retrograde in the 2nd house in this year. It is a signal that every Aquarius will receive a life lesson regarding personal property or property. Finances will be of great interest to you. However, you desire to acquire more property than you can actually repay. For some Aquarius, this position of secondary ruler can mean a large acquisition of material goods that are beyond income. You spend more than you earn. Things in your life are more valuable to you than personal relationships. In order to get out of the current negative situation caused by the retrograde process of Saturn in the 2nd house, you need to stop looking at the world only as a place where you achieve material security. If you focus your attention on the real values, you will do the right thing. Focus on love and good relationships. However, Saturn in this position can block good personal relationships, and therefore setting up for a wave of love will be even more complicated. Love will require more work, Aquarius. Achieving the love you desire will be more difficult. Do not forget that it is necessary to work on strong relationships. This retrograde Saturn is joined by retrograde Venus in the 7th house. It operates from July 23rd to September 4th. And just like other retrograde planets, this Venus can also cause negative vibrations. Venus placed in the 7th house, in a retrograde process, forces Aquarius to think about long-term relationships. Everything that can have a longer duration and a faster development is now feared. You are progressing very slowly. Venus in the 7th house makes you want to suppress your feelings. You perceive everything rationally. Your heart comes second. You prefer to be guided by reason. However, this may not always be ideal for Aquarius. You are convinced that the world is not an ideal place for love. That love kills rather than grows. For many Aquarians, life now manifests itself through a game of chess. You compete with your partner. You want to win. You will use all weapons to defeat him. Due to the fact that you do not share life with your partner, but compare and fight, your personal relationship is more complicated. Retrograde Venus in the 7th house of astrology can even mean the breakdown of some relationships. And that's especially the broken relationships from the previous period. Relationships in which there were frequent manifestations of lies, deception, mistrust. The relationships in this year between the sign of Aquarius and the Taurus, Cancer, Capricorn and Scorpio seem to be more complicated. Even relationships with the sign of Virgo can go through complicated emotions during the period of retrograde Venus. Although you are able to help and support others in their own life decisions during this Venus, you are unable to take advice yourself. Not even finding a balance. Your ideas also change based on how those closest to you perceive the world around you. You are an easily influenced person. This fact can be used by someone close to you to manipulate you. The final months of the year are manifested by retrograde Saturn calming down. Since October, you no longer feel its strong effect. From October to December 13th, the horoscope predicts positive aspects, mainly favorable energies. However, at the end of the year, from December 13th, Mercury enters a retrograde process. This time it places strength in the 11th house of friendship. It will cause interesting feelings in the Aquarius mind. Aquarius longs to experience mental freedom. You want to apply your ideas. And that among friends, but especially at the workplace. Relationships in December may seem more complicated. Especially with the Scorpio sign, and last, but not least with the Taurus and Virgo signs. Relations with these people will be extremely complicated and unpleasant at the end of this year. Your negative mood will be the center of attention of several people around you. They will not give you as much success as you need in life. In the final days of December, some people may perceive you as a cold person with mental distance. Fortune teller advises you, in terms of negative aspects, to avoid over-resolving complications in an intimate matter. Personal relationships should remain as they are. You should definitely not save big life steps and decisions for the end of this year. The disruptive energy of a very powerful retrograde Mercury encourages you to make many changes in your life. However, the end of the year is not ready for these changes. So, as the Aquarius annual prediction predicts, Aquarius should prepare well for this period. The negative aspects say that Aquarius will be immersed in various problems that will require his full attention and subsequent solution. Sometimes your thoughts will flow strongly to the past. If you do not find answers to some life questions, it is possible that you will feel a depressive period full of frustration from unresolved past, personal relationships and problems. Positive energy affect Aquarius this year. However, the horoscope does not only talk about negative aspects. This year is also special in that positive news awaits Aquarius. They are a caress for the soul of every person born in the 11th sign of the zodiac. They can endow you with more positive energy, optimism, and motivation for future decisions. In general, Aquarians are known to need motivation to move forward in the long run. The transits of this year also affect the positive direction of your journey. And not only in the area of love relationships, but also in the field of health and career. Even if the energies of disturbing retrograde planets, such as Mercury, Venus, retrograde Saturn or even Uranus, are strongly felt during the year, you still have the opportunity to overcome these negative vibrations. Draw positive energy from them for your life. You have to take some situations firmly into your own hands. At the end of each part of the Aquarius annual prediction, you will find a list of retrograde planets. So, we list the periods that will be the most challenging for Aquarius. The list of retrograde planets is also a sheet that describes the affected areas of life. Anyway, Aquarius feels Mercury retrograde up to 4 times during this year. It affects your energies significantly. However, you can transform disturbing energies into more positive ones. retrograde Mercury gives you enough opportunities to revive ideas and projects from the past that have already been forgotten. With Mercury retrograde, you have the opportunity to grow personally, meditate, and identify with the past. Although in several meanings, Mercury in retrograde motion takes you back to the past, be it to family with family, former partners, or to work failures. You always have the opportunity to learn from these moments, and later not to repeat these mistakes. And that is exactly the positive face of every retrograde Mercury in this year. However, the horoscope also looks at personal relationships, which are essential for every Aquarius. From the period when retrograde Mercury and Mars end their first action for this year, i.e., from January 18th, every Aquarius expects the arrival of their own season of this year. On January 20th, the Aquarius season begins, which lasts until February 18th. Already during this period, you feel the reversal of more negative feelings into significantly favorable ones. The astrological chart talks about the very beneficial placement of Venus, but also the planet Mercury and lunar positions, which favorably affect the development of Aquarius personal relationships. In addition, the Aquarius pregnancy forecast considers the first 4 months of this year to be fruitful. Created for success in Aquarius, who is trying to produce the first or next offspring. The end of this favorable period from the point of view of the fertility of each Aquarius comes only on April 21st. The chances of success are ended by the second retrograde Mercury of this year. This Mercury is therefore more suitable for meditations, for thinking about your own future, as well as about the past, which you no longer want to repeat. On May 15th, this slightly disturbing aspect will disappear. However, the Sun is still in a very favorable position. Moreover, Mars is moving into the 7th house. And so, it affects the long-lasting relationships. Placement of Mars in the 7th house in most cases is not suitable for marriage. In this year, however, you do not have to worry about a marriage concluded from May 15th to June 17th. The Aquarius pregnancy forecast and the marriage prediction are essentially one and the same. The ideal periods for all these big life decisions are the months of February, March, and the beginning of April. Last but not least, the last quarter of this year is also auspicious. Specifically, the months from the beginning of September until December 13th, all these months are excellent for faster, more active, and more efficient progress in personal life. Although retrograde Venus blocks the development of personal relationships from July 23rd to September 4th, there is nothing stopping you from starting preparations for your big day. However, the forecast recommends choosing the period after September 4th, or already in the mentioned months, at the beginning of this year, for the wedding reception. The positive news predicted by the Aquarius forecast is success in career advancement for Aquarius, especially in the final quarter of the year. The astrological chart talks about the very favorable position of the Sun, but also of the planet Mercury, which makes you a highly competitive person. In September, October, and November, even long-term unemployed Aquarians need not worry. And with that, the horoscope gives them the opportunity to capture every job opportunity. And the one abroad. According to the chart for this period and according to the astrology table, the final months of the year are set in such a way that they can harmonize any broken and problematic relationships. With the fading of the more disturbing astrological aspects that will manifest themselves in the middle of this year, you have the opportunity to put an end to family disputes as well. Friendly relations also come to the fore at the end of this year. Then you will focus on friendly relations more than in the previous period. The positive aspects of the whole year affect even those who are single. The months of June, August mean many opportunities for meaningful love even for single Aquarius. However, there is also a warning about the relationships of single Aquarians, which is mainly symbolized by the planet Venus. During the month of April, you will learn more about how Venus will affect love during this year in other parts, which the forecast will present completely free of charge. Do not hesitate and take advantage of the opportunity to get to know a free forecast from the fortune teller. Finally, the prediction reminds you to put your world in the right harmony. You must also focus on anchoring your health. This year, and especially its first decade, can bring a lot of energy and strength back into your life. However, it is necessary to focus on chakra healing, meditation, and proper nutrition. Of course, every Aquarius also faces a change in personal principles and old ideas. They will be more modern in this year. The Health and Vitality horoscope predicts more about what pains and health complications await you during the year, and how to transform them into a favorable form. You can find it in the final part of this big annual prediction for this period. Aquarius Love and Relationship Forecast. The Love and Relationship horoscope assesses how the relationships of long-term engaged Aquarians will look. The forecast for this period also tells Aquarians who are interested in marriage and its development in this year. Aquarius Forecast will look at what positive and negative news awaits you in terms of long-term relationships. Which astrological aspects are excellent for developing a long-lasting relationship? Which ones are distracting? The fortune teller has prepared an astrological prediction of the future in love and relationships, which will tell you more about the influence of the most powerful astrological aspects related to love. From January to December. In the first 20 days of January, the period begins when the Capricorn zodiac sign ends its season. But these days, Aquarius faces many problems related to love. Especially partner relationships can be problematic for those Aquarians who ignored their partner's needs in the previous days. If you are an Aquarius who is fully focused on work and completing tasks related to work duties, it is possible that you have neglected the needs of your partner. In order for your love to be stronger, it is necessary to use the astrological transits that come with the other days of this year. Already at the beginning of the Aquarius season, from January 20th, you can fully concentrate on communication and intimate stimulation of your relationship with your partner. If you want to keep the relationship in good balance, an excellent step is to take advantage of the action of Mercury in the first house. You perceive it from February 11th to March 2nd, this position of direct moving Mercury in an excellent position, which is not disturbed by other negative aspects, is ready for any Aquarius who wants to adopt his relationship to new circumstances. You may be thinking about expanding your family at the beginning of this year. The arrival of communicative Mercury already means that you have the opportunity to lure your partner into your wave of needs and desires. This position of Mercury can help you convince your partner that the decision to expand the family is the right one. If you both desire this step, under the influence of favorable Mercury, it is time to express yourself. Start trying to fulfill this great desire. The Aquarius pregnancy forecast specifies the period from January to April 21st as extremely suitable not only for the birth of a child. It is also suitable for expressing thoughts and communicating about any issue in a relationship. From an astrological point of view, the months of February and March seem to be focused not only on material security, but also on long-term partnerships and marriage. Property interests you not only from your own point of view, but also through your partner. Now you and your partner should decide on all financial expenses and plans related to finances. Only in this way will your relationship continue to be strong, unbreakable. Some Aquarians may have complicated relationships related mainly to finances. And that's under the influence of the position of Mercury and Mars, which can block your ability to properly communicate about family finances. Maybe your partner spends more than usual. Maybe you yourself want to buy something extra. Something your partner would disagree with. If you want to avoid complications in a relationship regarding money, it is better to leave major financial planning until the end of this year. The first part of the year could be more challenging in this respect. Full of tense situations and energies that cause arguments and complications regarding finances and long-term financial plans. The second Mercury retrograde of this year is related to the personal relationships of each Aquarius. Although it affects the family home, it can also affect the long-term partnerships of each of you. Retrograde Mercury in the 4th house, from April 21st to May 15th, blocks overall personal relationships. Every Aquarius now tends to focus their attention on the past, dealing with past relationships that you now consider more important than your current ones. It is said that after a breakup, one focuses mainly on the positive qualities of the previous partner and forgets the negative ones. Such emotions are caused by retrograde Mars in this period. Specifically, from April 21st to May 15th. From this point of view, you compare your partner with all ex-partners who appeared in your life in the past. The memories are associated with the false security you now want to find in your partner. Mercury in the 4th house, in a retrograde process, completely disrupts your sober view of the present. You are in an environment where you inevitably have to show more love to your partner. Otherwise, your relationships can be complicated. Breakups may even lurk for some Aquarians, mainly under the influence of incorrect assessment of the current relationship, even under the influence of jealous scenes and suspicion. In order for the long-term partner relationship to be prosperous, intellectual stimulation is essential. And that is what you can enjoy during the retrograde processes of Mercury during this year. You can also find a list of the dates when the retrograde movement of Mercury occurs at the end of this part of the horoscope, which describes each retrograde movement that is extremely important for Aquarius relationships. It is during this period that you have the opportunity to communicate more with your partner. Even if the expressions of your love are blocked, you can soothe your negative feelings with long conversations either about the relationship or about the past. Realize that telling the truth is essential for long-term Aquarius relationships. Maintain attraction and pleasant tension in the relationship. In order to avoid being willing to risk your relationship, it is essential to connect the emotional world with your partner. Thanks to this, you will not be tempted by the unpleasant Venus vibrations. It tempts Aquarius to make wrong decisions. But how to avoid the negative impact? Aquarius' prediction says that it is mainly through communication and common interests that bind you and your partner closer together. While the second Mercury retrograde of this year takes place, Venus enters the 5th astrological house. These two astrological aspects are related. Together, they even work on long-lasting Aquarius relationships. Since you are slightly frustrated by your partner's lack of interest in improving or strengthening the relationship, you may also be interested in the attention of someone who is interested in your heart or your body. Venus in the 5th house makes you a very attractive person. Your partner also perceives this attraction. If you set yourself up correctly, you can avoid the negative impact of Venus on your long-term relationship. What emotions can this Venus cause? In the month of April, Venus in the 5th house can trigger complicated decisions in love. Aquarius may have ulterior motives regarding the relationship. Since someone close to you will show you their shocking feelings, it is possible that you will think about an affair or another wrong procedure in the relationship. Annual forecast strongly warns Aquarians to avoid affairs in any sense, not only with specified partners. Especially Aquarius in a long-term partnership can be tested in the first half of this year. And that too in such a way. The strongest emotions of love in long-term relationships are brought by the second decade of this year. It is specific due to the placement of several astrological aspects in the 7th house of long-term relationships and partnership. From June 5th to July 27th, the energies of love are very strong. Venus is centered on the 7th house. No disturbing aspects vibrate towards long-term relationships. It is in these moments that you have the opportunity to communicate any problem with your partner. You have the opportunity to get closer to each other. The period from June 5th to July 27th is considered the most favorable for concluding a marriage. So, if you are an Aquarius in a long-term partnership and want to seal this relationship, there is no better time than the mentioned days of this year. These days are strong for Aquarius, who longs to expand his family. Thus, such favorable energies are predicted for the middle of this year. Specifically, the months of June and July. Retrograde Venus in the 7th house, from July 23rd until the arrival of September. Retrograde Venus placed in the 7th house means more complicated and slower life progress for every Aquarius. Venus retrograde focuses all your attention on personal relationships. Present, but also past. Not only do you realize how complicated your past was, at the same time, you carry past mistakes into your present. For Aquarius, this placement of Venus from July 23rd to the end of October is a very challenging and complicated period. Up to 3 months of this year seem to be complicated from the point of view of long-term relationships. Some Aquarians are even facing a breakup, especially those who are in a long-term relationship with the signs Taurus, Virgo, or Cancer. These Aquarius people should focus as much as possible on improving their personal relationship through communication and sharing interests. This retrograde Venus can navigate you to thoughts that other people don't understand your needs and feelings. You may feel isolated. Relations with your partner seem colder to you, less felt. Retrograde Venus can mean that each Aquarius orients his knowledge more towards his own self. You are a selfish person, although you may not be fully aware of it. All your attention will be focused only on what you want from life and your relationship. You forget about your partner's feelings. So, your personal life can really be turned upside down. Your relationship with your partner can change from day to day. You are hypersensitive to the external environment. So, you can react negatively to every reproach or every negative sentence from your partner. During this period, there are more arguments, misunderstandings, more complications in the relationship. With the arrival of September, the love relationship of every Aquarius improves. A period is coming that is, however, more demanding in terms of work duties. It is therefore likely that you will not have enough strength to strengthen personal relationships at the end of the year. Anyway, you can decide which way to go. At the end of the year, your ruling planet points to inner intelligence. In addition, it supports personal relationships with a partner. You can experience them at a deeper level at the end of this year. You just need to focus on your partner's feelings more than for their own. Find time for moments alone, as a couple, which reinforce the correct placements of the planets in the months of November and December. In the final months of the year, Aquarius will not focus on the negative past. You have freed yourself from the departure of retrograde Mercury. And thanks to this, you can focus on the positive vibrations of the present moment. Horoscope for single Aquarius. Even the forecast for singles born under the Aquarius sign requires Aquarius attention. Especially those people who wonder if they will find happiness with their fateful partner in this year. Are you waiting for energies that will help you win love? Or would you rather focus your full attention on improving your own life through exercise, better lifestyle, personal growth? The fortune teller will now take a closer look at these questions through the horoscope for singles for this year. At the outset, it should be noted that the highest compatibility for singles is predicted by the annual prediction with the Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Aries, and Gemini signs. You find understanding with these zodiac signs. For singles, Sagittarius also represents a huge opportunity for love. You will find love in this year, especially if you stop looking for it intensively. You have to connect intellectually with your new partner or potential lover. So, look to your new partner for a higher level of understanding. It is not only an intimate connection that is important. What is more important is how you and your new partner understand each other intellectually. And that's especially true for Aquarius who are looking for a longer-lasting relationship. The astrological chart wants to warn you at the beginning of this year, specifically in the month of April. This month seems to be disruptive for any single Aquarius, and in the way that the vibrations of Venus in the 5th house are a harbinger of more complicated personal relationships for Aquarius. And that's especially true for single people. The transit of Venus indicates the beginning of a relationship with a specified partner. So, you may face a love triangle that will further complicate your own understanding of yourself and your future. In order not to become even more entangled in your own feelings of sadness, and sometimes even depression, it is necessary to avoid relationships with committed partners. And last but not least, it is extremely important to end such relations in this year. In the second stage of the year, you will lack the strength to fight for this relationship. You will also lack understanding of the transit of Venus in the 7th house, in retrograde motion. Your integrity and honesty make you a good person. Don't let these positive traits of your personality be taken away just because you make the wrong decision. In order for a single man or a single woman born under the sign of Aquarius to be more satisfied in a relationship, it is necessary to build a more durable, stronger personal box. And you build it precisely through the right decisions, with which you do not harm anyone else. Your life must be pure. As well as pure, white is the color that is identified with your zodiac sign throughout the year. The white color of this year gives you strength and positive thinking in times when the wisest decisions are needed. With the Venus arrival in the 7th house, from July 23rd to September 4th, it is likely that the single Aquarius will hear from someone from the past. Some of you ask fortune teller if this time is a good year to return to their ex-partner. The Love Forecast Water gives a clear answer for anyone who is thinking about renewing a past relationship. 2023 is the year you refuse to worry. You focus your attention on removing sadness from your life. You want to overcome the feeling of loneliness. The second part of the year is a time that requires part and space to make the right decision. If you are an Aquarius dealing with the issue of getting back with your ex, taking time to assess your former relationship is essential. In the second decade of the year, you understand what you really want from life. And thanks to the fact that you identify more with personal feelings and needs, you can make the right decision. Your right decisions are also supported by Mars placed in the right position, so that you do not repeat the mistakes of the past. So the horoscope will not tell you directly whether 2023 is a suitable year for Aquarius to return to their former partner. In any case, fortune teller advises you to listen to your intuition now more than ever. She will give you the right advice in the second part of the year. If your ex-partner contacts you at the beginning of the year, it is better to leave the decisions regarding him for the final months, which are certainly more favorable in terms of decisions. The Aquarius love forecast for this period generally advises you to free yourself from such emotional connections that are toxic to your future. This year is an ideal starting point to decide which path you want your life to take next. The position of Venus throughout the year means deep insight. Aquarius has the opportunity to look into the deepest feelings. The last months of this year can be used for personality growth. To find out what you really want from life. The end of the year will free you from depressing thoughts about the past. The feeling of loneliness disappears from your life. Venus knows how some Aquarius people enjoy the single life, and therefore supports the energy of those who decide, instead of persistently searching for love and feeling lonely, to focus instead on encouraging personal life growth. Aquarius family relations and friendship horoscope. The family relationships of every Aquarius seem to be disturbed by several astrological aspects that come with this year. Pregnancy forecast Aquarius has already revealed which moments are suitable for this big life step and the decisions related to it. The prediction of long-term relationships and single relationships assessed which astrological aspects affect Aquarius and how they affect your overall relationships. However, Family relationships will also be greatly affected by this year. They will also be connected with negative astrological transits, which will now be presented to you by the fortune teller. In this year, several energies belong to retrograde Mercury. Venus in the 7th house will also be involved in influencing your long-lasting personal relationships. Every Aquarius will deal with interpersonal relations on a broader level. Aquarius is a zodiac sign that cannot be completely happy if some personal relationships are broken. A more favorable development of family relations and friendship comes with the arrival of February. Astrological aspects predict times when you need to close certain chapters in your life. These moments are felt with the arrival of retrograde Mercury in the 4th house of astrology from April 21st to May 15th. You can only do one thing at this point. Discover your spiritual box more deeply. However, you can also focus on interpersonal family relationships with those closest to you. These will now be extremely complicated and will require a lot of your attention. As Aquarius focus returns to the past, you are likely to blame your family for their past mistakes and wrong decisions. However, every Aquarius should realize that the vibration of energy from the past is caused by the retrograde Mercury and its disruptive influence. So from April, you connect with the planet of communication and with an incessant need to convince others of their past mistakes. It is this procedure on the part of Aquarius that can cause quarrels and misunderstandings in the family. Your impulsive behavior will be shown by Mars in the 7th house, from May 20th to July 10th. At that time, you want to put your hand intensively in order to crystallize the relationships in the household. You are more interested than ever in calming relationships and harmonizing them. Family members will understand that now is the right opportunity to restore good relations in the family. May, June, and the month of July are the months during which you can remove the coldness and isolation between you and some family members. Especially with people with whom past relationships were complicated. You can resolve more problematic relationships with siblings or parents in the mentioned 3 months of this year. At that time, you will not feel overwhelmed by an excessive duty, which could complicate your focus on restoring family relationships. Several astrological aspects say that the second part of the year will be much more demanding in terms of Aquarius relationships. Although some favorable astrological aspects prevail in influencing long-term relationships, the same will not be the case in family or friendship relationships. The second stage of the year makes you a more isolated person. Even the arrival of Venus in the 7th house in a retrograde direction is an expression of imbalance in the entire horoscope of family relationships. Your selfishness is also manifested in this direction. From July 23rd to September 4th, you are an Aquarius who wants to express your true self in all circumstances. Personal needs and desires. Aquarius people are likely to neglect the thoughts and emotions of loved ones. In addition, someone close to you can confide in you with a big problem. You ignore him. And what's worse, you might even make fun of it. This negative vibrational field of Venus makes you a hypersensitive person. But only in relation to oneself. These days you may experience frustration from your own feelings, including from the past. You are closing in on yourself. You want to separate yourself from others. This sense of isolation is brought about by Venus. You will overcome it only with the arrival of September. From September, the full attention of a person born under the sign of Aquarius will be mainly focused on friendly relationships. The astrological chart related to the friendship of Aquarius does not represent any crises or unexpected storms that would complicate the overall friendly relations. Throughout the year, however, the Aquarius forecast warns of gossip. Gossip can be a poisonous ingredient of your year. They can complicate the whole year to your disadvantage. Gossip should be avoided. Especially if you gossip with the Scorpio, Capricorn, and Taurus signs. Relationships with the mentioned zodiac signs will be more complicated in terms of family and friendly relationships. At the same time, they represent the biggest challenge for you to maintain them in harmony and stability until the end of this year. Aquarius Work and Finance Forecast. The work and financial horoscope is an important part of the prediction for this period. Aquarius should know their work prediction. Whether you plans to change jobs in this year, find a new one, or travel abroad for work. In addition, the financial forecast can advise you on what financial decisions to make in this year and what decisions to avoid. With the arrival of this year, there is not much left for Aquarius to focus on work duties. You open this year with a deep knowledge of how your work life developed in the previous year. The position of important planets is set in January so that every Aquarius looks back on career and financial well-being. You can analyze everything you did right last year and what could be corrected. Astrological transits are now mostly focused on the first house. Later, also on the second house. And that immediately with the arrival of this year and the months of January, February, and March. Direct movements of Mercury in the first house tend to encourage Aquarius in communication skills. Thanks to this, every unemployed Aquarius receives opportunities for success as soon as 2023 arrives. Aquarius can seek the company of other people during this period. It is no secret that the astrological chart predicts many social events at the beginning of the year to which you will be invited. You react correctly to the problems and demands of your management and your colleagues. Mercury in a favorable position in the first, second, and later in the third house will give Aquarius excellent communication skills. And of course, enthusiasm for what you do. Some of you have to deal with multiple work responsibilities regarding households. In addition, since April 21st, you have also been fighting the bad mood of other family members. You also need to calm these energies. He also considers housework to be extremely important. You will succeed if you can remove the irritability of other members of your family at home. Thanks to this, housework will also be easier. In order to overcome the problems that will occur in April and May at your workplace, focus on strengthening personal relationships. Aquarius can expect complicated relationships with colleagues, especially with Scorpio and Virgo. With these two signs, some started projects may even collapse. The things you start together will be difficult. Saturn in the second house, which is manifested from June 17th to November 14th, will also be manifested by the Aquarius comfort. A slight laziness now manifests itself not only in career, but also in financial prosperity. In February and March, the horoscope predicts several financial opportunities with the coming of the year. From a financial point of view, the beginning of this year is considered the most beneficial for your finances. It is very likely that these 2 months of the year, which come right after the start of this year, mean better financial security and well-being for Aquarius. You are entering a new period where astrological aspects predict better financial security. However, this does not have to be maintained throughout the year. The arrival of Saturn in the second house, from June 17th, can be a harbinger of several financial complications. From June 17th to November 14th, the financial prediction for this period predicts several expenses. These are related not only to the Aquarius household, but also to the vehicle, healthy. Your financial budget can get complicated now. It is therefore necessary that every Aquarius be more careful about the money saved. If you are going on vacation from June 17th to November 14th, you should also pay attention. You calculate more, spend less. You can enjoy your vacation even without unnecessary extra luxury items. But let's get back to the work that the horoscope considers important, especially in the second decade of the year. That's when several astrological aspects focus on the house related to long-term goals and career advancement. Through self-discovery and education, you have the opportunity to grow personally from September. However, this personal growth is also related to later professional success. Overall, the second decade of the year is much more favorable for a career. In the summer, you will focus more on teaching others. Finances also require your attention. Likewise, the beginning of this year is associated with financial well-being and with getting information about money. However, April can complicate your financial situation. Venus in the 5th house may represent moderate personal success in the workplace. However, it also means affairs that may appear in Aquarius's life. Affairs can be related to your workplace and co-workers. Horoscope warns each of you to avoid workplace romances. And this is a very important point of the forecast for this period. In the second chapter of the year, you must learn to distribute energy. This is now connected with the correct placement of the astrological aspects affecting the 9th, 10th and 11th houses. In the second part of the year, you can decide on career opportunities abroad. Astrological transits are correctly set to support you in the correct development of your career direction in the second decade of the year. At the end of the year, you progress professionally. However, at the same time, many responsibilities come into your life and a huge speed that you have to manage. Since many obligations await you with the arrival of the months of September, October, November, and December, it is favorable that Mars lends you aggressive energy from October 12th to November 24th. This aggressiveness will support you in achieving work success. However, beware of interest in a job where you have to make decisions that conflict with your own self. Even if the position of the astrological planets at the end of this year allows you to get the job you desire, you should still not go against your own convictions. Your work may also be connected with travel in the final months. Throughout this time, Aquarius is required to re-qualify at various levels. Finance and Work Forecast recommends more involvement in education. The more you learn in this year, the better your prospects for future, successful career advancement. Multiple planetary energies are affecting your life. During this year, it is no exception that Aquarius will take on more responsibilities than they can handle. Physical household work will also be more demanding for Aquarius in this year. You should use the energy of Mars at the end of this year to accomplish the most difficult tasks. And also, to cleanse energies from negative relationships at work, which were typical for the first decade of this year. If you are planning major repairs or renovations in the home, make sure to make these decisions outside the influence of retrograde planets. The full list of how the retrograde planets work through this time can be found at the end of this part of the horoscope. The end of the year is therefore specific according to the astrological chart by focusing on work and the fulfillment of long-term goals. Aquarius interpersonal relationships are also better. There is mutual respect and understanding, and especially at the workplace. For unemployed Aquarians, the astrological chart predicts new opportunities for life application. At the end of the year, the planet Mars gives you the combativeness to travel abroad for work opportunities. For Aquarius, there is a specific persistence throughout the year. At the end of the year, you can take on the most difficult tasks, complete them, and benefit from them in the future. Aquarius Health Forecast. The prediction for this year for the Aquarius health and vitality in these lines will be devoted to how to increase the energy of people born under the sign of Aquarius who are suffering from a long-term illness. However, the horoscope also deals with predictions for those Aquarians who want to know how the year will develop in terms of health and what advice the fortune teller recommends to strengthen vitality. In general, people born under the sign of Aquarius should be very careful about addictions. This is also discussed in the astrological chart, which mainly at the beginning of the year represents transits related to injuries and unexpected illnesses. These may be related to the consequences of your addictions. Forecast strongly warns that no Aquarius should get behind the wheel under the influence of addictive substances. Do not even sit with a person who tends to maintain such habits. The astrological chart also warns Aquarius in the season that is specific to your zodiac sign. The months of January, February, and March therefore require more Aquarius attention. Overall, your nervous system may be disturbed in this year. During several months of the year, Aquarius will have a problem with insomnia, even with falling asleep at a regular time. Sleep problems can later result in several other health complications. Therefore, it is advisable to sharpen attention and eliminate these bad health habits as soon as the year comes. If you have trouble falling asleep, you need to think less before going to sleep. Put down the phone, computer, turn off the TV. Turn off all electronics. Focus on your thoughts that gradually calm your mind. They leave your mind. They leave you alone with your body. You gradually become more and more tired until you fall asleep. Do this kind of training regularly before going to bed so that you don't experience problems with anxiety and falling asleep during this year. Aquarius can feel several health complications even with the arrival of May. Then you feel restlessness, mainly under the influence of unpleasant problems from your personal life. The stress that is a part of this year can be removed by taking care of healing your chakras. The most disturbed in this year seems to be the chakra, which we also refer to as the solar plexus chakra, which is a source of personal strength. Solar plexus is the chakra responsible for energy. If you feel a huge personal exhaustion, the kind that takes your attention away from the beauty of everyday life, it is essential to work with the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra is also responsible for self-expression. Thanks to the support of this chakra, we maintain good mental and physical health. Growing is essential for an Aquarius, and that in any area of life during this year. You must also support the emotional world, which can be challenging for your year. In order to raise the solar plexus chakra to a healthy level, meditation is necessary. Even accessories of yellow color will help you bring the solar plexus chakra into balance. Last but not least, you should focus on aromatherapy. Your oil for this period, which is related to good health and vitality, is jasmine oil. White, yellow, and silver accessories can also promote better health throughout the year. In addition, jasmine is a plant that symbolizes love and peace. It supports your inner self, your own personality, and the development of your relationships. In addition, this oil can prevent infections and various diseases. Get jasmine oil of such quality that you can use it internally. It has enormous antifungal, antimicrobial, bactericidal, and fungicidal effects. Thanks to the inhalation of jasmine oil, you can reduce infections in the respiratory system. It is this oil that can help you if you are fighting a cold or a persistent cough. In addition, it also frees you from depression and feelings of anxiety or frustration. Aromatherapy can support you. She can improve health even in this year. Therefore, definitely do not underestimate her. Your mental health is affected with the arrival of the second part of the year. Then your mental health is affected by stressful situations, mainly from work. In the middle of the year, you will have a scare, but it will be mainly related to personal relationships and love. In order to free your body from stress, which could also harm your physical health, it is necessary to move more. Active exercise and the involvement of family members in any physical activity will improve your own health. Also, better personal relationships. Maintaining regular sports habits is essential for the Aquarius sign. Forecast Aquarius advises to do sports regularly. Keep your body in good shape. Because with the second stage of the year may also come weight gain, which is not welcome in your case. However, energetic Mars can lend you so much strength that you fight stress. Sports and physical activity are also helpful in the fight against stress. The most threatened overall health due to injuries or problems on the health front therefore come with the arrival of this year. You should be careful in the middle of the year, especially if you have any vacations waiting for you this year. Be careful when traveling. Don't wander alone at night. For long-term ill Aquarius, the annual prediction does not predict any extraordinary improvement. However, people born under the sign of Aquarius who improve their diet can achieve some improvement even in long-term illness. It is essential to avoid chemicals in food as much as possible. You don't need to research every food. However, cook more at home. You eat less in restaurants. Eat less processed foods and choose wisely. Try to eat more homemade food. Choose good fats. Be sure to include avocados in your regular diet, which contain healthy fats and plenty of fiber. Aquarius must not forget to replenish vitamin D. And that by staying in the fresh air and the sun. However, if you do not have the opportunity to expose your body to sunlight every day, it is advisable to supplement vitamin D in artificial form as well. However, remember that even vitamin consumption must be regulated. Aquarius should also reach for fruit. Oranges, pears, lemons, raspberries, and berries are the ideal choice for you. The listed foods contain vitamins that your body will need in this year, especially during a stressful period. Aquarius should also get to know seafood. Eat less meat and less chemically processed foods. Sometimes it's good to turn the label of the food you buy to find out what it contains. If you do not know more than 3 ingredients, definitely do not buy this food. It can be full of chemical ingredients that endanger your body. Although sometimes foods may seem healthy, they can shock you when you read the ingredients. It is good to choose organic food options. Or reach for organic food, if you have that option. If not, try mainly to eat homemade food that is good for your body. In conclusion, the health horoscope for this period advises every Aquarius to keep his body in good condition, through a proper and sufficient drinking regime. Aquarius should check their water intake during the day. The best drinking regimen is clean water that does not contain any other chemical additives. If you don't like plain water, try fruit teas without sugar. In order for your body to function, you need to support it with the right habits. Building the right habits is mainly supported by Mars at the end of this year. At that time, it is easier for every Aquarius to lose weight, and it is also easier to control. At the end of this year, the forecast gives you several options to improve your life. Whether in terms of relationships, career, but also health. Therefore, the end of the year can be more difficult for some Aquarius people. And so, the Aquarius forecast for this year reminds again of the necessity to focus on the healing of the chakras and a regular drinking regime. Dear friends, this was an overview of the year 2023. Listen to predictions for others, and find out more facts about the year and its effects on your friends, family members, and you. Horoscope and Divination wish you all the best in this stunning year. According to Chinese astrology, 2023 is the year of Water Rabbit, when good things are coming. Listen to Chinese Horoscopes 2023 as well and be ready for this year. Subscribe to our channel for more information from the zodiac world. Remember to support us by subscription. In the description below, you will find links for all essential horoscopes. Know yourself better with the Horoscope Divination site. With free horoscopes and tarot readings. Wish you all the best in 2023.